This
So do you
conference
have
will now be recorded.
Come on. No, we're leaving.
All right. So, Cal, have you ever had an EPT session before?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Was that with your Aunt Chloe?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So
I
you're
don't
already
remember who her name was, but I did it one other time with someone else.
okay. Good. So you've already got some experience with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we do, of course, with EPT is it's different than like regular talk therapy, and it doesn't involve any medication or anything like that. We use the procedure, the focus, find it, fix it, forgive it, to get to the root of the problem or what's going on, and then we use forgiveness to just kind of like pull that emotional weed up by the roots, and put something positive and helpful in its place. So let's see here. All right. Do you have any questions for me before we get started?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Now, do you have? I've got my magnets here with me. Do you have any magnets, or are you going to be? If you don't have any, that's okay. We can still do this.
Mom, do we have any magnets?
No.
Oh, yeah, no. We don't have any.
Okay.
You have some of those little tiny ball ones.
Those don't work.
Okay.
The connection
Yeah,
isn't very.
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And this is still fine because actually you are a magnet, and so am I. Every person, we have like a magnetic energy in our body, and so as we the go through the procedure of finding it and fixing it, I'm just going to ask you to put your hand on like different organs and stuff like that, in place of the magnets. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start. I'd like you to just put your hands on each side of your head, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths in. And so breathe, and then out. And deep breath in and out. And 3 more in, or 1 more in, and then out. And then I want you to try to kind of keep both hands on either side of your head and put one finger in the spot right between your eyes at the top of your nose. And the other finger is going to go kind of back here, right at the. Oops, I was looking away and talking. Right at the back at the base of your skull. And we're going to do 3 more breaths like that. Okay. So deep breath in, and then out, and then in, and out, and then 1 more. All right. Awesome. So for you, one of the things that we start with is, like I said, is the focus, and that is just what you want to have and be different and changed, moving through after this session. So for you, what is there something specific that you've been thinking about that you wanted us to work on?
Yeah. Me and my mom argue a lot.
Mhm.
That's one thing.
Okay. So would you say, I guess, that for you, like, would you just like to be able to like talk and communicate without you guys getting upset, or how would
Yeah.
you say it?
It's more like every single time we talk, we always get into an argument, no matter what it is. That's how I sort of feel. So, yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
All right. So if you see me looking down, it's just because I'm writing some notes. Okay. So I want you to just take a moment and think about think about what that would be like to be able to have a talk, have a conversation with your mom, and it not become an argument. That it be something where you get to feel heard and she gets to feel heard, and it doesn't have to be an argument. So I just want you to think about what that would be like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's testing week. Okay, so I'm just doing some muscle testing here, and I know you've had sessions in person before. One of the things that makes them different whenever it's like over distance like this is that
Charles?
instead of being there, to muscle test on your, I'm doing is yes.
It's sort of lagging out. I didn't catch any of that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. All right, thank you for letting me know.
Uh-huh.
So when we're doing a session like this over distance, instead of me being there to like muscle test on your arm, basically I'm like taking my finger and muscle testing on myself like that, like almost kind of like the finger. My finger is the arm. Okay.
Yeah.
And so whenever you were thinking about that and having that focus on being able to talk with your mom without arguing, it tested that your stage of healing that you're starting in is a 3. And with EPT, that stage 3 is like what we call bargaining. And bargaining is like trying to make a deal. Like we try something to fix it and it doesn't work. So then we try something else and maybe that doesn't work. And so we're in that kind of loop of trying to fix it, but not being able to yet. So, and it also tested that your what we call distress, which is just any like uneasiness or anything like that you might feel about that. Your distress is pretty low. It's only a 2, which is good. I think by the time we're done today, it's going to get lower, and it may go away altogether. But your like what we call elation, which is just how your body, like how good it feels whenever it thinks about that focus of being able to talk without arguing. It's only a 3. So that's a number that by the end of the session, we're going to see go up. Okay. So if you would you say I'm okay with showing up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to muscle test. I just want you to say those words. I'm okay with showing up.
I'm okay with showing up.
Okay. Yep. And that test strong. If you would say, I'm okay with paying attention.
I'm okay with paying attention.
Okay. So that tested week. And when I say paying attention, that doesn't mean necessarily that that you're not wanting to pay attention and be in the session.
It sort of means I have like
whenever
a short-term focusing on something. I can't focus on one thing. Is that sort of what it means?
Yeah, it can be that, or sometimes it can be like there's something that we just don't want to pay attention to. Like there's a problem, and we want to ignore it. We don't even really want to look at it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. It'll be just a second here. All right, so I'm just going to test and see what organs and emotions that we've got here. I'm just the reason I'm a little bit quiet is I'm just muscle testing and taking some notes here. Okay, so the organ that tested was your heart. And the emotion that it's testing there is what it's called unrequited love, which is like it's another way of saying unreturned love. So it's there's like love going out from us to somebody or something, but we don't feel like it's coming back. So it's kind of like giving and giving, but not receiving. And it also, I mean, it's not surprising. It also tested that it's somehow related or connected with your mom. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah.
With like in your relationship with your mom?
Yeah.
How would you say? I guess as far as like a why, like if you were to finish the statement, I feel my unreturned love with mom because, like, how would you finish that? What would your because be?
Most of the time, like, I might ask if I could help her out or like do something for her, and she'll immediately return with like a yell or something just mean.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like always in a bad mood, and it always feels like she's yelling at me for nothing. Like I might spill a glass of water a little bit and she'll go on like a full rage, it seems like.
Okay. Well, that's really hard, especially like you said, whenever you're trying to help out. I mean, it sounds like there's probably been times that you've noticed that she maybe was in a bad mood, and you offered to help to try to make things easier, but instead of getting to help, it sounds like you feel like you get yelled at. Is that right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. we're going to check and see if there's like an original time for this, like kind of which would be the time when this pattern like got started.
Mhm.
Okay, so now are you 9 or
I'm 11.
you're 11? Okay. Okay, so there is an original memory on this, and it's testing again, still, heart, that unreturned love, and it's testing that it was another time when you felt something similar to this was whenever you were about 7, which I know it's been a few years ago, and that's usually, I guess, maybe about like first grade, just kind of depending on when you started school. Is there, I guess, a specific thing that you can think of or that comes to mind when you think about there being that I'm trying to give love out, but it's not coming back? Whenever you were 7?
I mean, it's sort of the same thing. It's always sort of been like that. It's just basically the same thing now, but longer. Oh, a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay.
that's
So this
sort of-
isn't something that's like brand new.
It's been. I've been feeling like this for a while.
Okay. Well, we are. Oh, let's see. I don't know about you. I'm getting a message that popped up on my screen about just slow connection. Did you get a message like that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you to put your hand over your heart, and then I want you to put the other hand on your forehead. And we are going to scramble that signal that's going on there of that unreturned love. Okay. And I want you to take in 3 deep breaths, just like we did at the beginning. Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and then 2 more of those. Awesome. You did a great job. And let's see, any other emotions? Okay. So checking for other organs and emotions, and what came up was the organ is your liver,
Mhm.
and the emotion is frustration. So it's being frustrated, whenever you were 7, or around this problem. So for you, how what would you say would have been causing you to feel that frustration?
I mean, my mom, was every time I tried to help her or anything, the yelling, it was mostly just the yelling. It would just make me frustrated to no end, to the point where I would go in my room and cry for a long time. Sort of how it is now, too.
Yeah. I'm really sorry that you felt that way. Yeah. Do you remember, I guess, like some of the things that you tried to help your mom with whenever you were 7?
Not really. I just remember, I mean, it's mostly, especially now, I mean, it doesn't even have to be helping things, it's just anything I do. Normally involves in yelling or a tone change.
Okay. What I want you to do now is take your hand. I don't know if you know where your liver is.
I don't.
It is. Let me see if I can. Camera. Okay. So your liver is on your right part of your body. Like if you go to your belly button and then you just go over to the right, kind of to the right side, that's where you're going to find your liver. So if you want to put one hand there,
Yeah.
and then the other hand on your forehead. Then we are going to release just that energy, that frustrated emotional energy. So take a deep breath. 2 more. Awesome job. You're doing great, man. Okay, so the next organ that came up was the stomach, and the emotion that came up was low self-esteem. So, and you've probably heard people talk about self-esteem before.
Yeah.
And what that is it's just if we've got low self-esteem, it just means that we don't feel very good about ourselves. Like we may feel like something's wrong with us. So when you were 7 and there was the yelling and you were going to your room, and were so upset that you had been crying, would you say that, I mean, that you started to feel that way, that you started to feel like bad about yourself?
Probably. Yeah, that's probably when it started.
Yeah. And and it's really common. It's like totally normal that whenever and it's just something that people do. A lot of times we just if we can't figure out what is going wrong, then a lot of times we just figure, well, then there must be something wrong with me, that I must be the problem. And usually that's not the case. When we've all got a part in things, but a lot of times we're a lot harder on ourselves than we really need to be.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So I want you to put one hand on your stomach.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the other one on your forehead. And I want you to think about just letting go of that feeling of low self-esteem. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 deep breaths. Okay. All right, man. Well, I'm not testing any more emotions on this issue, so we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and go into. So, if you would, I want you to take, if you reach up and feel your collarbone,
Mhm.
the points of it, and you go
Mhm.
down just a little bit, there's kind of like two little squishy spots.
Mhm.
Okay. I want you to just gently rub those spots, and in live EPT sessions when we're in person, usually the person who's providing the EPT will rub those points. But since we're over distance, you can rub those for yourself. Okay. And also too, um, as we're doing these statements, if you need or want to change it and put it in into your words to make it more true for you, that's absolutely okay. And if there is a statement that whenever you start to say it, it just doesn't feel like you can do it, it's okay to say that too, to let me know. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So just repeat after me.
Mhm.
I love and accept myself
I love and accept myself
and give myself permission
and give myself permission
to call up
to call up
and to let go
and to let go
of everything that doesn't work for me.
of everything that doesn't work for me.
And take a deep breath. I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to pay attention
to pay attention
to those feelings and those memories
to those feelings and those memories
that just don't feel good.
that don't feel good.
Deep breath. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that it's always going to be this way between me and my mom.
that it's always going to be this way between me and my mom.
That it's been this way for so long
It's been this way for so long
that it doesn't even matter what I do.
It doesn't even matter what I do.
It's just going to stay this way.
It's just going to stay this way.
Deep breath. Forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that it's all my fault.
that it's all my fault.
That it's my fault for Mom being in a bad mood.
It's not my fault for Mom being in a bad mood.
That it's my fault that she yells.
And it's not my fault that she yells.
And I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that even when I try to help,
that even when I try to help,
I'm always going to get yelled.
I'm always going to get yelled at.
Deep breath. I forgive myself for all the times
I forgive myself for all the time
that I yelled back at Mom
that I yelled back at Mom
and maybe said things that hurt her feelings.
and maybe said things that hurt her feelings.
Deep breath. And I forgive my mom
I forgive my mom
for the times that she has yelled things at me
for the times that she has yelled things at me
that hurt my feelings.
and that hurt my feelings.
Like when I was 7
Like when I was 7
and my feelings were hurt so bad, I went to my room and cried.
and my feelings were hurt so bad that I cried.
And deep breath. And I give my mom permission to forgive me.
And I give my mom permission to forgive me
For the times that I maybe hurt her feelings.
for the times that I maybe hurt her feelings.
And deep breath. Forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that there's no way for this to change.
there's no way for this to change.
Deep breath. And I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to believe that it can change
to believe that it can change
and that God can change anything.
and that God can change anything.
Deep breath. I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for anything I might have done,
for anything I might have done
accidentally or on purpose,
accidentally or on purpose
that might have um, made Mom feel like yelling.
that might have made my mom feel like yelling.
Deep breath. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
just that
that
that moms and kids can't get along.
moms and kids can get along.
Forgive myself for believing
Forgive myself for believing
that that's who my mom is.
that that's who my mom is.
That she's just somebody who yells all the time
She's just somebody that yells all the time
and is always in a bad mood.
and is always in a bad mood.
And deep breath. I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to pay attention
to pay attention
and to notice
And to notice
all the times that my mom smiles
all the times that my mom smiles
and laughs
and laughs
and has a good time
and has a good time.
and is in a really good mood.
Is a really good mood.
I give myself permission
I give for myself permission
to pay extra attention
to pay extra attention
to all the times she says nice things to me.
to all the times she says nice things to me.
Deep breath. Without this negative emotion
Without this
of feeling unreturned love,
of feeling unreturned love,
I get to have a different experience.
I get to have a different experience.
I get to have one that is full of feeling safe
I get to have one that is full of feeling safe
and secure
and secure
and complete.
and complete.
I can talk to my mom
I can talk to my mom
and not even have that worry
and not even have that worry
of if it's going to become another yelling match.
that if it's going to become another yelling match.
Deep breath. And I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself,
Even if we do yell from time to time.
even if we do yell from time to time.
Take a deep breath. And without all this frustration
Without all this frustration
and feeling like I've just been banging my head against a wall,
and feeling like I've been banging my head against the wall,
I'm free
I'm free.
to feel more love
Feel more love
for myself,
for myself,
for my mom,
for my mom,
for all the people in my life who are important to me.
and all the people in my life who are important to me.
Deep breath. And without these patterns, I'm better at forgiving.
Then I'm better at forgiving
Yeah. And not taking offense to things.
and not taking offense to things.
And being able to love myself more.
And being able to love myself more.
Take a deep breath. And without this, just this emotion of low self-esteem,
Without this low self-esteem,
I can feel worthy.
I can feel worthy.
And I can know that I'm a good son.
And I can know that I'm a good son.
I'm a good friend.
I'm a good friend.
I'm a good cousin.
I'm a good cousin.
Deep breath. Without this low self-esteem,
Without this low self-esteem,
I can be calm.
I can be calm.
I don't have to feel tense and nervous all the time.
I don't have to feel tense and nervous all the time.
And I can have conversations with my mom.
And I can have conversations with my mom.
And we both get to walk away feeling happy with how it went.
And we both get to walk away feeling happy about how it went.
Take a deep breath. Are there any other statements that are coming to mind that you would like to say that I maybe forgot?
No.
Okay, awesome. How do you feel right now?
Much better.
Awesome. I'm gonna check your the things that we muscle tested at the beginning. So if you would say, I can pay attention.
I can pay attention.
Okay, that was testing week before. Now it's testing strong. Okay, now I want you to just kind of think back to that focus that we started with, of being able to talk to your mom without having an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the stage of healing that we talked about in the beginning, where it was at a 3, so that was the kind of just going back and forth and trying to find something that works.
Yeah.
You went from there to a 6, which is like being right at the, so it's kind of like being right at the edge of something, and
Yeah.
just ready to go right on over into it. So that's a really good shift, really good change. And I think what's probably going to end up moving you even further, like from 6 to a 7, is going to be maybe just having the opportunity to practice, just having, just a short talk with your mom about something, and you guys having a different experience. The distress that we talked about at the beginning, that was a 2, which was not a bad number. That's because we want that to be low. It went from 2 to 0, which is the exact direction that we want to see it go in. And the elation, or that happiness, that was only a 3, it went from a 3 on up to a 9, which is exactly what we want to see it doing. So you're a rock star, man. You did fantastic.
Thanks, Charles. That felt really good.
You did great. You did fantastic, Cal. It was amazing. I'm really grateful that I got to see a kid who is so on it and so understanding and wants his relationships to be as good as they can be. That's amazing for an 11-year-old. You really are a rock star. I'm totally impressed. And you're going to make it in this world. If you can do this when you're 11, there's not a whole lot that's going to hold you back. I'll just tell you that.
Thanks.
All right. You're welcome. I'm going to hit this stop recording.